All right, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us on this Valley News Now update. We're awaiting a live feed from North Fargo right now as Fargo Police provide us an update on what's been going on this morning. Again, this is all the information that we know so far. Fargo Police Department asking the public to avoid an area in North Fargo due to what they're calling an ongoing incident. They haven't provided any details on what that ongoing incident may be yet. That's the exact verbiage they've used, but we're expecting to know what that is here in just a little bit as we await the live feed to pop up. It was supposed to start at 1:30, so we'll have that up as soon as we get it here. But in a Facebook post, police asked people to avoid the 700 block of 2nd Street North for that ongoing incident. Authorities only said that this is due to that ongoing incident and the more information will follow. Again, that's what we're waiting for right now. Now, an interesting thing about this, Pulse Point, which is a public safety app, shows that a structure fire was reported in that area. That call came in around 10:45 a.m. and that was at 737 2nd Street North. Oh, we have a feed up right now. As soon as they start to, we're actually going to go ahead and take this live just to make sure as our reporter on scene gets this live feed set up. It looks like they still haven't started yet. So again, this is going to be the latest that we know of what's going on in North Fargo. We'll go ahead and take this feed.
Sorry, I get distracted.
Yeah.
Don't we all? Oh, no, I missed that.
As you can see, they're still getting, we'll turn that off. They're still getting set up there. We'll wait for them to start talking. Again, this is the latest on an ongoing incident. That's the exact verbiage that the Fargo Police used in the 700 block of 2nd Street North. Now, Bobby Fallett, who's our reporter on the scene, did tell us that he did see the Red River Valley SWAT team. Well, it looks like they're starting to ask questions. Let's go take that live.
If you guys are ready. Sergeant Matt Christensen, KFGO.
All right, just want to give a quick update on what's going on this morning. Obviously, we sent out the information to the public about staying away from the area of the 700 block of 2nd Street North. So just to give you some information, about 10:26 this morning, we were called to the 700 block of 2nd Street North for a disturbance. Information we got at that time was male had entered a house. The male was known to the residents of the house, but he was not invited there. When he was inside, he started to cause some damage to their property. They called us to have him removed. Once we got on scene, we interviewed the residents of the house. Nobody had been injured. There wasn't any physical altercations with this male. They did indicate that they knew who he was, like I said. So we tried to set up a perimeter outside the house just based off of the information they gave us. It sounded like he was possibly armed with a hammer and possibly a pocket knife. There hasn't been any indication that he has any firearms or anything like that. So that's kind of where we're at right now as far as the perimeter. We have requested the Red River Valley SWAT team, who's just arrived on scene, to assist with getting him out of the house. Obviously, we want to do that as peacefully as we possibly can. So we'll try to talk him out. While the officers were on perimeter, they were doing announcements to try to get him to come out voluntarily. So that's kind of where we're at right now. Like I said, there wasn't any indication of any firearms inside, but obviously we can't confirm that until we can go inside or find that out. But at this time, we don't believe there to be any firearms involved with this. We're going to do our best to get him to come out peacefully and surrender. It sounds like he does already have a warrant. There obviously will be some additional charges based off of what we find out once we get him in custody. At this time, we believe there's just one person in the house, which is our suspect. And I do want to make the public aware, too, when the SWAT team arrived, they did utilize some flash sound diversionary devices, which often sound like a gunshot. There haven't been any gunshots fired or anything like that. That was just a distraction device that we utilized to try to get his attention, try to make sure he's listening to our commands that we're giving from outside the residence to try to get him to come out.
Any response from him?
We haven't had any response from him since we've started giving commands, no.
And the fire department was called here at about quarter to 11.
Correct. They're here on standby just as a safety precaution. Some of the information we got was that he possibly had a lighter and was possibly trying to light the house on fire with a big pocket lighter. So that's just a precaution to make sure that they're in close proximity here at Incident Command in case there is some indication that there's a fire.
This happened near Horace Mann Elementary and near Sanford Broadway Clinic. Did the department notify those places that something was going down in this area? If so, when?
We did notify the school. I'd have to check on the exact time frame of when that was as far as what was going on. I don't believe we specifically notified Sanford. We did send out the information to stay away from the area. We're very confident that we have the situation contained inside the house. don't believe that there's a threat to anyone outside of that general area, so we didn't want to basically worry people unnecessarily.
Are you familiar with this person, Captain?
We do know who he is. I can't speak to whether we've dealt with him before or not, but I do believe he does have an active warrant for his arrest.
Are you able to go, is it a felony warrant, misdemeanor, what kind of a warrant? Or are you able to speak on it?
The type of warrant, I'm not sure. Like I said earlier to some of you guys, is once we get this resolved and get him in custody, we'll send out more information as far as who he was, what his charges were, what the warrants were for, and all that kind of stuff. I don't know off the top of my head what his warrant is for.
Is this in any way related to the search for Tyreek Jones?
No.
When do you possibly can we expect to see this scene wrap up here in the next half hour? Is it all going to be based on that cooperation of that person that's inside the home, or eventually a certain amount of time is SWAT going to do their thing and go in?
Yeah, and that'll all be, that all depends on kind of what we find out when SWAT is on scene and starts to utilize some of their tactics. Obviously, like I said, our number one goal is to make sure everybody's safe, to include the person inside the house. We want him to come out peacefully and surrender to us, and then we can deal with that. Even if that doesn't happen, we're still going to do things as safely as we possibly can by utilizing the SWAT team that has that extra training and have that technology and tools that we can go in there and at least get eyes on and then try to work from there.
Yeah. One of my last questions for you is, obviously this whole entire block is blocked off. It seems though that from time to time you kind of saw some people exit their house. Is there any, have you gone to any door to door just letting the neighbors know what's going on, urging them to possibly leave their homes? Is it this kind of situation that could detail that kind of danger, or the people, if they're next to their homes, next to this specific home, are they safe?
Sure. So we haven't gone door to door for anything like that. Like I said, we're very confident that we have this contained inside the house. We have a perimeter right outside the house with our officers and now the SWAT team. Like the message we sent out was just to stay away from the area. Obviously, if you're in your house and you're very close by, I wouldn't come out to areas that face that house just as a precaution. But like I said, we don't believe there's any firearms involved or anything like that. If the person inside does start to come out, obviously we have officers right there that will deal with him and take him into custody as safely as we possibly can.
All right, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Sorry, I'm just horrible with names. Can you spell your first name?
Yep, M-A-T-T.
Oh, just Matt.
Yep.
Okay, thanks.
There we go. That's the latest from Fargo Police right now on this incident in North Fargo. We'll go ahead and run through it for anybody that may just be joining us here on this Valley News Now stream as Bobby Fallett shows us a little bit of the area there. This was called in as a disturbance at 10:26 a.m. This is all the info we just heard from this press availability. Again, if you're just tuning into this stream. A man entered a house, was known to residents but not invited there. He then caused damage to property. There was no altercation at that time. Police were called. A perimeter was set up, possibly armed with a hammer or pocket knife there. They don't believe that there are any firearms involved. They told us several times that they have no indication of this time that there was a firearm involved. Again, this is the 700 block of 2nd Street North for anyone that may be curious about that. The SWAT team was called to help get this man out of the house. They're trying to get him out peacefully right now. Does have a warrant out for his arrest. They did tell us that there will be more charges filed here for this incident. We'll see what comes from that. We were told that the SWAT team did use flash devices in their efforts to try to get him out of the house. The Fargo Police representative was very quick to let us know those were not gunshots that you might have heard in that area. They were flash devices. There's been no response from this man since they started giving him commands to get out of the house. That's according to FPD. The nearby school in that area, Horace Mann, has been notified. We also learned that it's possible that the man inside the house tried to light it on fire with a lighter. So we heard that as well. Again, on Pulse Point, it mentioned that this was called in as a structure fire, so that's why the fire department was called for that. They do believe that the situation is contained inside the house. They don't believe there is a threat outside of that area, but they are reminding the public to please stay out of that area. Well, that's the latest that we have on this from Fargo Police. Again, you heard it from the police officer himself, or from me if you just tuned in. We're going to have more on this situation as it develops, so be sure to stay tuned right here to Valley News Now on Facebook, YouTube, on your smart TV. Be sure to download our apps on there so you can watch it there on the comfort of your couch in the living room, and we're going to keep you updated on the situation as it develops. Be sure to stay tuned, but for now, for Valley News Now, I'm Devin Fry.